Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the VK4503. It's a German Tier 7 premium heavy tank, and it's under the command of Goliath Killer 1, and he's on the south spawn of Steps. And battle has commenced. Now, the VK4503 can be more easily described as the Tiger 3. The Tiger 1 was the, well, famous Tiger, the Panzer Kampfwagen 6, or 6th. The Tiger 2 was the another version of it, the otherwise known as the King Tiger. But this was known as the Tiger 3, but it never got built because it was a project that was designed in 1942 and only existed in blueprints. And the reason it didn't really exist very well, well, it's got a very poor damage per minute rate. The armor's fairly poor. Even though it's got that sloped front armor, it's still pretty weak. 100mm at the front, but shells can easily go through it. And he was looking for targets there. No, it's pulled back from the bush. So it's got very poor damage per minute, which means that it really can't hold its own in comparison to some other tanks of the same tier. Now, this particular tank was a rental to Goliath Killer 1, but after this battle he thought he might buy it. So really, in a sense, that's a bit of a recommendation. Well, he's exposed his front there rather than side scraping. This vehicle, this design, actually did lend itself to side scraping. The sloped armour and everything. It's just the rate of fire wasn't that great. Oh, fires a quick snapshot there at the Tiger P. Bounces around, coming back for 220. Pulls back behind the rock because you can shoot over the top of that rock there. T-43 is threatening to come around, but hasn't done so yet. So I think he's going to go around, finish that T-43 off in concert with his teammate. So he's got one bounce on the back of that T-43, but this time, no, still doesn't get anything. This is an 88mm gun on this tank, and he's aiming for the engine compartment, and he's gone, and he gets the kill. 43 hit points, but it was enough. It went into the right place. Now he's after that IS and the Tiger P. Now the IS is quite a good comparison to this tank, and he's got the rear of the IS, so his shells go in this time. You can see the poor fire rate. He's got a very slow reload, 8 seconds. Okay, took a shot there from the T-25. It's finished off the IS now. And the T-25 AT has gone down. And he's actually being platooned at this moment with his teammate, also in a 4503. Here they go, gets around into the Tiger P. Comes around the corner, almost reloaded, going for the weak spot. Yep, gets around in. And bounces the round in return. 252 on that hit. This should be enough to finish him off. And going for the cupola, and he's history. 82 hit points. That's his third kill. And they're well into enemy territory now. Although the enemy is coming down the other side. Well, they haven't made much progress because there's a heavy tank blocking their path. Right. There's an enemy VK4503, and you can see he's taken a round through his upper plate. Oh! That T-29 just drove straight into a shell, which luckily bounced off his armour because he tried to shove his way through. Here he does it again. This idiot is going to get shot in the rear by his own side because he keeps pushing in front of other people's guns when they're firing. Doesn't he know about how to form a firing line? Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Well, there's a SU-152, fires around and gets a hit, but his teammate in the... actually, I think the kill went down to somebody else. Yes, it was the IS-2 who managed to get the kill on that ISU. Oh, took a big hit there from the SU-101 M1. Now, aiming for the lower plate. Oh, that was another big hit, 256. He either needs to get behind that one. Oh, no, he didn't need to worry. The T-29 shot him in the rear, where the armor's weakest on that tank destroyer. Okay, now he's moving. He's lost his radio man. He's down to about a third of his hit points. Pulling up over the hill. Well, third, it's 40%. There's the SU-152. Dialed in, round out. 219. Right, can he get the kill? Waiting for the reload. It's painfully long waiting for the reload. He didn't get the kill there. The T-71 took the kill. So you see, this is why this tank is let down all the time. Because you're sitting there for ages waiting for the reload to go through, and meanwhile your teammates steal all the kills. Okay, so they're way ahead now. There's only 3 enemy left. 2 enemy left. A T-34-100 and a Jagdpanther, and he's now in the cap, but I don't think he's going to stay in the cap because I think he wants those last 2 kills. Yep, he's travelling on through. It's no cap kill all. There is a time to cap, but this is not one of them. Okay, Jagdpanther. Can he get it? Oh, he's turning to face it. Oh, fires around him, bounces the round off the armour of the Jagdpanther, but he takes a big hit from the Jagdpanther. 239, so there's only 1 enemy left, and that enemy has already been killed. The enemy T-20, well, our T-29 took out the Jagdpanther, but the T-34-100 was already dead. So that was the end of the battle, and the win rate was 3570. Let's have a look at the end of battle results. And it's a first-class tanker for Goliath Killer 1 in the VK4503. He also picked up a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 5, and he got a 5 for effect for dealing more damage than the hit points of his vehicle. But sadly, he didn't actually get any other medals at all. But he did perform rather well. The only problem is, of course, that the VK4503, it lets itself down by the virtue of the fact that it just can't pump out enough damage quickly enough. Well, here, Goliath Killer and his teammates, between them, managed to get the highest XP on their own team, or highest hit points on their own team. His teammate, La 2017 or 2015, managed to get 1,979 hit points. So he came top, and Goliath Killer was just behind, would you believe it, just behind by 14 hit points. So if one of those shots had connected on the, say, the Jagdpanther, he would have been the high scorer on his own team. But the T-34-100 on the enemy team was the person who managed to get the highest hit points, or the high caliber, but he didn't actually pick up the high caliber medal. So one can only presume that he didn't get 20% of the enemy hit points, and that's why he didn't get it. But when it came to kills, Goliath Killer was top with 3 to match the constructors with 3 on the other side, and he got the highest base XP of 1,094. He fired 17 rounds, got 15 direct hits, 10 penetrations, damage of 1,965 hit points, of which 714 were at more than 300 meters. Just goes to show again that this particular gun, it doesn't penetrate very well. In fact, of all of the 88's armed tanks, this one is particularly bad, and you'd think that they would actually have armed it with something a little bit better than the 88mm they've actually got. But there you go. He received 7 hits during the battle. 4 were penetrations, 3 were non-penetrations. He blocked damage of 440 hit points. He spotted 2 enemy vehicles. He damaged 7 of the enemy but killed 3 of them. And he did damage assistance of 1,349 hit points. On the standard account, he earned 51,078 credits. And after repair and ammunition resupply, and he didn't use much, in fact he didn't use any premium at all, he was actually left with 40,904 credits. He received 1,094 base XP, got 219 for the fact that this is a premium vehicle, and that gave him 1,313 experience points to take away. But as you can see, the VK4503, I know that Goliath Killer 1 likes it, and he thinks he might buy this rental, but to me, to be honest, no, it's not really. I can understand why the Germans rejected it. It's got too long a reload, which means the damage per minute is just not good enough in comparison to tanks like the IS that he was up against there during that battle. And it's not a very good tier 7 heavy. It's weak armor. Even though it's got 100mm at the front, it still can be penetrated quite easily, and especially the turret, which is very vulnerable. So I think it's a meh vehicle, you know, not the sort of one that you'd really want to buy, but it's there, it's on the list of premium vehicles, and that's probably why it's given a rental so often, because people don't really want it. But there you go. Anyway, if you enjoyed this replay, please give it a like and do subscribe to our channel, and hopefully it'll be your replay that I'll be featuring in the next video.